What a productive and peaceful day of trading we had today on February 11th, 2025, Tuesday, as we enjoyed beautiful weather in Los Angeles. Welcome. My name is Rafi Sosicyan. I'm a licensed and registered commodity trading advisor. I'm a software engineer and I'm the developer of Price Action Pivoter, which is an AI real-time Python-based fully automated trading system exclusively designed for the NinjaTrader system. In this video, I'm going to discuss live trades the system had, trading ES, the SPOOs, as well as discuss best practices, expectations, the ordering process, and how to fully take advantage of Price Action Pivoter. Let's jump right in. Just to acquaint you with what you're seeing on your screen, again, this is for February 11th, 2025. This is the trades the system had for the SPOOs for the E-mini S&P 500 futures. That's the data box in the top left corner of your screen. On the bottom left corner of your screen, you're going to see the HigherEdgeAi Python terminal. That's currently running live, and it is essentially producing signals if there are any signals to be had. The system was set via the parameters on the strategy, and I'll show you the strategy parameters in just a moment, was set to look for trades between 6:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time until 12:30 p.m. Pacific Central Time. It was set to stop and exit everything, flatten everything, at 12:59 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As far as some money management parameters, it was set to stop looking for further trades if it hit a net session profit limit of $5,000 or more upon the exit of the trade. It was set to stop looking for further trades if it had, you just saw signals go by right there on your screen on the left hand. So there was a lower price reversing signal at 7:41. It's military time. And it's also set again to stop looking for trades if it hits $1,000 or more in loss for the net session loss limit. It had a couple of stops in place that moved the trailing stop, I should say. So there's only one stop. It was set at $500 and the profit target was set at $1,200. But there are a couple of trailing stops that the system has. So this is a custom trailing stop. Essentially, here's how it works. It's got two different ways that it moves that stop and tries to book any unrealized profit. The initial way is looking for a hard money stop where it moves it according to the parameters that I set. Moves the stop to 50% away from the unrealized peak high, because these are long trades, peak high of the trades that the system is in. So it's going to park it 50% away from the unrealized peak high. That's a hard money stop. It's set at $800. So if it basically triggers at $800, and the second trailing stop, the second way it moves it, is it's set at $400 hard money. Plus, it's got to have the AA signals. So the signals that you see there that are rolling by on your screen there on the bottom left corner of the Python terminal there, that signal has to be an adverse signal to the trade direction that you're in. If it's got that adverse signal plus $400, and then I have some price action as well in there, if it has all three of those, then it moves the stop and moves the stop to 50% away from the unrealized peak high again and tries to book your unrealized profit. And all three of the trades that the SPOOs took here, the system took, I should say, it were all essentially where the stop moved and booked the unrealized profit. So the trailing stop is what kicked in. So the first trade was at 6:32. That's when it entered the trade. 6:31 is when it got the signal, and it kept going until, as I just mentioned, that trailing stop was hit. And on the first trade, and you'll notice that the trade started going against us. Okay, it entered the trade again. It got a signal again at 9:18 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It entered the trade at 9:19 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and it kept going until same thing again. The stop, I mean, that one was a hairline right there. Okay, but still, it took that stop and booked that profit, and it got the signal again at 11:04. Okay, so at 11:05. And then at 11:06, it entered the trade, and finally, this is the last trade. Once again, it moved the trailing stop, and it booked the unrealized profit. Had it not done that, the system would have automatically exited at 12:59. It would flatten everything at 12:59. Which was right here, would get that signal, and it would essentially exit right there at the open of the 1 o'clock bar. So as you can see, it did save a little bit there. It actually did better than if you just let it go. Okay. So let me show you what it did as far as the results. Let me just clear out this thing so you can see. And we'll discuss that because I want to show you the MAV. So this is the summary of the three trades today. And I ran this for 5 days. I set it last night. I had to reboot my system, so I set it last night. And it's been running since last night, so Monday night. And these are the trades that it took. I had 5 days, and I'll show you that. I have 5 days of data. So this is entry name, exit name, profit, and these are the entry times. Okay, so you'll notice that, let me show you the MFE. So the MFE, that stands for max favorable excursion. This is, think of it as the trade going in your favor. In your favor, what was the max that it hit? The max favorable, okay, so excursion. So in this case, it was 1137.50 for the first trade. Remember, I said that if it hit $1,200, that was my profit target. It would have kicked in a limit order of $1,200, and it would have essentially booked that full thing at $1,200. It missed it, almost got there at 1137, almost 1,200. But what happened was, because that's over 800, the hard money is definitely in there as well. So it's going to kick in at 50% away, and it booked it at 562. The second trade was on the penny, $800 on the MFE. It had already put the trailing stop at 50% away from the unrealized peak high, and it booked it at 400. The third one never got to the hard money 800, but it had passed the second hard money 400 plus the AI signal. So the third one was that. So the AI signal kicked in plus the $400 of the hard money that it had, plus the price action that has to be there as well. It's got to be adverse price action as well. And it's called Price Action Pivoter. And so essentially it booked the profit at 275. So that's what happened. What I wanted to show you is see, I get some questions on the different instruments. So for example, some of the questions will be, how many days of data should I be trading the model, the HigherEdgeAi LSTM model, which is an RNN model, okay? Well, I'm using 5 days for the SPOOs. Pretty happy with the results when it comes to ES with 5 days of data. And so let me show you the data series. You can see that I've loaded 5 days of data. Everything that you see here, 60 pieces of data variable, will be recorded in a CSV automatically. You don't have to do anything. It'll automatically be recorded for you in a CSV file, where data such as open, high, low, close, volume, RSI, Bollinger Bands, multiple moving averages, traditional pivots, as well as Fibonacci pivots, mid pivots, when price action happened, was it overnight Globex or was it an RTH? All sorts of data is being analyzed by the LSTM model automatically in real time, minute by minute, and it's giving you signals and it's taking action for you. It's all working together with the NinjaTrader system itself, so you don't have to worry about this terminal popping up. You don't have to worry about this terminal closing when you exit the strategy. Whether you turn it off, you reboot your computer, just turn down NinjaTrader, whatever, this terminal is going to go away. Okay, so you don't even have to worry about that. It's completely fully automated. The only thing you have to worry about is money management and enabling this thing. So you have to enable it, pick your instrument, identify your profit target, your stop, your trailing stop, which days you want to trade, which times you want to trade, etc. Those you have to be in control of. Remember, guys, I am licensed and registered as a commodity trading advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. I can't tell you which instruments to trade, but I can give you all of the tools in the software so that you make those decisions based on whatever comfort level you have with your risk to reward objective. So let me show you the strategy parameters itself, as I said I was going to show you. So you can see here I've chosen Monday through Friday. It's ready to go. I used desired profit is another parameter that ends up in that CSV for the training model. It has no impact on the profit target. That's another question that I get via email from the clients is desired profit the same as profit target? It is not. They are two different things. Desired profit is the profit you wish to get in a 2-hour period. Why am I saying 2-hour period? So the LSTM model, the crux of it is that it's looking to give you a signal based on this. Can it get to your desired profit over the next 2 hours before it hits your stop, your risk per trade? In this system, it's called risk per trade. And if it can, which direction should it go? Should it go high? Should it go long? Should it go short? Should it stay out? Now, another question that I receive once in a while is, how did I get to that number 1250? Well, you have to if you don't know the instrument's ranges, there is a technical way of getting to that answer, and it's not difficult. I'll say this, and then you can easily try it yourself. So plot any instrument that you want to trade, whether you're trading CL, GC, ES, NQ, NG, any instrument that trades overnight essentially has over 22.5 hours of data during a session. This thing will work. So whatever you want to come up with, HG, 6B, whatever, you essentially put it on a daily chart, not a minute chart, because here's what I'm trying to answer the question as to how can I figure out what my desired profit should be over those 2 hours? What if I pick 600? What if I pick 5,000? Is it going to get to 5,000 in 2 hours often trading ES? If it's not, the LSTM model will give you no signal. So if let's say 10,000 and you're trading, I don't know, something that doesn't get to 10,000, something like 6B, okay, whatever it is that you're trading, it's not going to get to 10,000 over the next 2 hours. Well, your LSTM model is not going to give you a response because it's going to say, how can I give you signals based on your desired profit that we can get there in the next 2 hours? We can't. And so if it doesn't, the model doesn't see that happening based on the data that you give it. In this case, we gave it 5 days of data, 1 minute data, 5 days of data, 1 minute data of, divided into 60 different variables. If it can't get there, there are no signals that it can give you. Okay, so you have to be reasonable with your desired profit, is what I'm saying. It has to have happened before. If it's before, meaning in the data that you're feeding the LSTM model. So in the last 5 days in this case. So what you want to do is put it on a daily chart. Put an ATR at 14 on the daily chart as well. Okay, that's the ATR indicator. Look at the last day number for the ATR. So let's say that number, let's say you did CL, okay, and that number it came in at 2, just to make the numbers easy. So the ATR came in at 2. Now that data is off of 23 hours of data, really, because you're trading CL, it's counting it by the session. The session starts the night before. You're supposed to then divide it by 23, so you have to divide it by 23 to get the hour worth of range. You multiply it by 2 because we're looking for 2 hours of range, but then you have to get some sort of a multiplier going. Okay, when you do that, it's going to be at the 99, a little bit higher than the 99% of the standard deviation of that range, which is more applicable because, especially if you're trading RTH, regular trading hours, the volatility is significantly higher, as I'm sure you've seen, in RTH than it is in ETH, in Globex electronic trading hours pre-market, right? So you have more volatility, more price range, more extraction, if you will, that you can make hopefully from the market. And so more money that you can harvest hopefully from the market. Well, in that regard, all you have to do is multiply that final number with 3.5. For example, a point in CL, 1 point is $1,000. So if you end up with, let's say, half a point, so that means $500. If you ended up with like 0.60, that's $600. Now it's not an exact math, right? You can see it go like to 700 or 800 or 900, and once in a while it can go to 1,000, depending on the volatility that you're experiencing, which is why I'm saying pick the last day on the chart, on the daily chart, so that's going back 14 days, but that's giving you the last day's average of the last 14 days. So it's the closest you can get to a predictive model as to how much range you can get for the next 2 hours. So essentially that's what it was looking for there. I essentially set it to 6:30, 12:30. So let me go back and explain what the AI did on the exit, okay, not on the entry. So obviously we're using AI machine learning on the entries, obviously, but along with price action, but on the exit as well when it comes to moving the trailing peak high low right here, that number. So here's the trailing peak stop, the peak high low trailing stop, 800, 450, 800, 450. So that's the long side, that's the short side. Hard money 800. It moves the stop to 50% away from the unrealized peak high, or it's the long unrealized minimum peak profit of peak high, of $400 plus the AI signal. So it's got 400. If it hits 400 or more, and the price action is adverse to your trade, and there's an AI signal, it moves the stop. So 3 things have to check off on that filter. And then if you do that, it's going to move the stop, which is what happens, is exactly what happened on the last trade. And you can tell because if you look at the actual trade itself, if you look at the MFE, that's the max favorable excursion. It was 562. It never got to 800, but it did get to 400. And so the 400 plus the AI signal plus the adverse price action, it moved the stop to 50% away from the unrealized peak high, and you get this exit right here. The summary for today was 1237.50. No losses, all wins. Not every day is going to have all wins, guys. Okay, so but today did have all wins. Today was a peaceful, smooth sailing day for the SPOOs. Now, another thing I wanted to discuss is I get questions with respect to the ordering process. When you order online, you're not able to download the software immediately because I still require a meeting. So I've said this in other videos as well. I want to meet my clients. I want to know who they are. I want to know a little bit about them. So when you place an order online, assuming you have not had a Zoom meeting with me previously, you've just watched my videos or found out from someone else who's a client of Price Action Pivoter that they've got an automated trading system that's working for them. So you found out about it, you did some research, you did some due diligence, and you placed the order online yourself. You won't be able to immediately download the software. The first thing you're going to need is an API key. And that API key you'll get via email, and you will essentially be able to download when I open up the download portal for you during our meeting. So I do require one meeting with every single client that I have. And the reason for that is because I want to know more about your trading experience before I, commit to providing support for your stay here, as this is a lifetime license. So for example, if you've been trading for 20 years, you're going to know certain lingo that I'm going to be using when it comes to trading, industry lingo. You're going to understand it pretty well. If you're brand new to trading, for example, sometimes I get people who've recently sold their businesses that want to look for something else to do, and trading seems like a good fit for them, particularly automated trading with sophisticated machine learning, such as what Price Action Pivoter is offering. Or I get retirees who are done with their careers, their own businesses, and they want to do something else. Or I get professionals who have extra time on their hands and they haven't really traded much other than once in a while options, once in a while stocks. They're not going to be very comfortable right off the bat with futures, particularly if they've never traded with an automated trading system, an advanced one such as this before. So I need to know I need to gauge essentially where each client is. And once I've determined that, have notated that, then I'll know that, for example, with certain clients, I make videos when they ask me an email via support. So custom videos just for that client, just so that I can make it as easy that I can. With other clients, I'll know that because they've shared information such as I've been trading for 10 years, I've used other automated systems before, I have several, computer savvy clients here as well. So some are like engineers themselves, different genres within the realm of technology within that umbrella. So I know that I don't need to make a video for them. But to those who don't, I make a special video. And that's when I discover that, sort of a discovery meeting for me, so that I know exactly who it is. During that meeting, once I've discovered who you are and what your trading level is, I will essentially open up the download portal. From my side, you'll be able to download the software. Okay, so that's how it works for everybody. If you've had that meeting before, so we had a Zoom meeting before you ordered, and I already know who you are when you place that order, then what will happen is I will send you a time and a date via email as to when you can download the software. You'll have an API key and a time and a date, and you'll have a window where you can download that software. That window is usually about 12 hours. So you'll have about 12 hours to download the software. So that's how the ordering process works. Now, I want to say one other thing about pricing. So everything that I showed you was for one contract, and everything that you see on the website. So when you visit ES on the website, if you look at the ES hypothetical backtests or the GC hypothetical backtest or the NQ hypothetical backtest, for example, speaking of NQ, you see over $200,000 being generated on the backtest in about a 7-month period. And that's one contract. So if that were to play out in real time, the value that you're getting for this software at between $15,000 to $20,000 versus, $200,000 plus in 7 months. If you extrapolate that out, let's just say, $400,000 or thereabouts in a given year. Obviously, the value is excellent for the software. And so what's likely to happen going forward is the prices are going to keep increasing. So the prices will never decrease, but they will highly likely, continue to increase. Over the next 12 to 18 months, I'm considering taking it up to a couple of different price points. So it could go up to as much as $60,000 for this system, or I might do a yearly option so that it's more affordable for people, but it's still going to be about $20,000 per year. So whoever is securing lifetime licenses now, you've done really well for yourself, because as this grabs momentum, and that's what's doing right now with the software, it's going to only increase in price, guys. So do remember that. I want to say it up front so that it won't be a price sticker shock later on when you guys visit this, let's say, and say, oh, I'm going to do this 6 months from now. And you visit it 6 months from now, you go, what in the world? It was like, far, far less price back then than it is now. Yes, expect significant price increases because the value is there. The value proposition is there for this system. So I'm not just a software engineer, I'm a registered vendor with NinjaTrader ecosystem, and I've said this in other videos as well. Several other vendors on the NinjaTrader ecosystem have reached out to me so that I help them with their software. Okay, so I know what's out there. I know what systems are out there. I know what machine learning systems are out there with AI systems. Everybody and their mother has an AI system, okay? But as I'm sure you guys who've been looking at these various systems, you've discovered that they're not really AI. They're not transparent at all in what they're showing you. And with my systems, you see the exact Python terminal. You see the signals get printed to a TXT file. You see the exact model. So it's something that is vastly different than what others have. And this model is working. So, and I have these videos, several of these out there, and I'm only showing you one instrument at a time. So it's essentially, there are other instruments that are performing quite well as well. So it's something that you want to keep at the back of your mind. If you've decided to do something like this, guys, do it as soon as you can, because prices increase. If you visit the website, you'll see there's an offer good through date on the order page. Heed that, because the prices will increase. And like I said, it'll get to either one of two models that I'm currently contemplating. One would be taking it up to as much as $60,000 to make the value commensurate with what you're receiving, in a sense. And the other part of it is to say, instead of doing it that way, just do it per year. So it'd be something like $20,000 to $25,000 per year. So right now the prices are still in their, what I'm calling, introductory phase, because V5Ai is still fairly new. And so the referrals are now coming in, where in fact clients are asking to pay the same price that the potential clients, I should say, are asking to pay the same price that the previous clients paid when that price point is gone. So I don't negotiate on the prices, guys. I hope that's pretty clear. In fact, if somebody, and I get those questions too, so if you have not received a response, here's my response in a formal email, because I can't get to everybody and respond and say, sorry guys, especially if I hate giving good people bad news, so I don't respond at all. If somebody says, hey, can you give me a price break, or can you give me the same price you gave so-and-so, the price points are what they're listed on the website, guys. I don't negotiate. So there is one exception that I make, in that if you have a military ID, if you have served the U.S. military at some point, if you're a veteran, then I do offer you a 10% discount. I'm not going to, keep that from you. I do offer a 10% discount to anybody who's served in the military, but that's about it. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful. If you have any questions, let me know. Rafi at pinnaclequant.com. Until next time, take care of yourself, and God bless.